Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. I was getting some messages coming through. Right now is going to be a big and significant time for the synchronicities. So if you want to start keeping a journal, or if you have like a running note or something like that, I would definitely recommend you to be keeping track of things. Just because it's easier too, and sometimes you can see like a bigger map or a bigger message when you have everything all in one place rather than all over the place. It's going to be easier to notice patterns and kind of make out a larger pattern that's taking place. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing you make a move that you feel like is for the betterment of you. I'm also seeing you have the perspective that this is like a healthier thing for you to be doing. Maybe some sort of pain also that you're moving away from, or something maybe that you're finally ready to turn over a new leaf. I'm getting something about ivy here. The plant, ivy. I guess it could be a name too. Okay, we're starting off with the Ten of Cups. Following your joy, following your happiness, following what's inspiring to you. For some of you, you're looking into stuff related to your ancestry and things like that. Could be things that were passed down, or this could be, you could be doing some sort of like historical research or like events that happened in the past. You could even be like reviewing your own past. I'm seeing someone getting a shirt that belonged to like their dad or their grandfather. I'm seeing like a really big shirt here. This can even be something historical. I don't know if this is, for some of you, it may not be someone in your family. That can also be a metaphor for like articles and things like that. This looks like something from a long time ago. I'm hearing keeping track. Even things related to traditions and stuff like that. Interesting. What this looks like to me is that the only thing that would be inhibiting you from following your bliss may be you criticizing yourself, or a fear of criticism, or like the judgmental opinions of other people. It's like there may be something that you've always wanted to do, or something that you always wanted to pursue or explore, something that you're just interested in, and you're like, what would that person think? Or maybe like other people around where you live think that something you want to do is taboo, or just maybe uncomfortable. Let's get further and see. You know that this is something that brings you a sense of joy and happiness, but yeah, you may have other people around you that are not super supportive of what you're doing. But also, too, I will say this, with the Five of Swords popping out, there can be a preoccupation with what other people think. Like, what are they going to say? People are judging me. And just being, like, concerned with other people, where if you kind of turn your gaze inward, stop leaning into that so much, it can definitely help assuage that like feeling even of paranoia. I mean, for some of you though, this really could be stuff that's happening where you feel like people are like judgmental of what you're doing and what brings you a sense of happiness. But ultimately, if that's something that's affecting us, it's because we're on that frequency and we are ultimately judging ourselves. Because if you're not judging yourself, then the judgment of another person isn't going to do anything, because you're not on that frequency. It's not something that resonates with you, and so it doesn't matter. But yeah, maybe you had a scuffle or like a run-in with somebody. This would be, now if this is somebody that you're bumping into, this would be somebody that like sees you being happy and sees that they're not doing it for themselves, and so they're projecting onto you like all of their judgments really of themselves, but they're not at a point where they're able to really read that or understand that yet. And so they think that they're like angry towards you, or that they're judging you when secretly, maybe we can say subconsciously, they're actually judging themselves. So know too that you may have some people projecting onto you. Don't take it personally, because it's not. The way that somebody treats you is ultimately how they feel towards themselves. So if somebody's loving towards you, they're feeling that within themselves. If somebody's judging towards you, it's really because they're judging themselves. You're just a mirror, and vice versa. Yeah, I'm seeing you move away from this. It seems like whatever needed to be done or understood has happened now, and we're moving forward from that. Yeah, this could have definitely been something that you were kind of caught up in the cycle of. As we are in a social society, it's very easy to get caught up in like judgments and opinions and all of that. Like many of us constantly judge one another. But we can also change our gaze at the same time. And rather than things being automatic, we can question them and kind of like reroute the pathology of it. For some of you, you felt like somebody was not in alignment with your pursuit of happiness, and so I'm seeing that you moved on. Possibly for some of you away from this person, but now there's a fear, like, am I really going to find something that I connect with? Am I going to find someone that I connect with? Like, am I worth it? You may have questions, maybe questioning, like, your self-worth or your value. Self-esteem. It feels like a worry connected with, like, am I going to find this thing that I'm looking for that is meeting my standards? Also, too, I moved away from something and I moved towards something else, and this something else that I'm connecting with, is this going to be worth it to me? Like, was it worth it to leave? You know what, it's giving one of those situations where like somebody may not have been treating you nicely, or you felt disrespected, or like somebody was really closed off, whatever it was, or there was some sort of judgment. The Five of Swords can be lots of different things, ranging from like a more severe scale to something less severe. Whatever it was, I'm seeing this be like you did this for yourself, moving away from this because you didn't like want to be around that energy and you didn't feel like it was uplifting to you. And so like whatever your reasons were, I'm seeing this be a move that you made that was brave, because you were like, I'm not gonna stick around and be treated like this or be in this environment anymore, because I don't feel like it's breeding the type of lifestyle that I want to be living. And so I'm seeing you move away, and at the same time you're like, was it worth it? There's this fear here, like, did I make the right decision? But what I'm seeing is that regardless of whether or not you find exactly what you're looking for on the other side of this, you did make the right decision, because why would you have stayed in that? And it does look like there is something that you're getting connected with that kind of sparks something within you, some sort of excitement that you're feeling. This person wouldn't have understood why that meant what it means to you. It's like, I get somebody that didn't really get you, but this is also because they didn't really understand themselves either. As I said before, it's not personal. This person was just kind of closed off towards like their own themselves. It's like they weren't connected with themselves the way that you're connecting with yourself, and you're understanding that, like, this brings me happiness, or like, this is a dream of mine and I want to go in this direction, or I'm called to go this way. And you were even like meant to be walking down this path that you're walking down now, but like, this person is still not in a space where they're understanding that. But don't take on the projected energy just because this person they're not in a space of understanding their connection with themselves right now. Like, not awake to it yet. I am seeing a definite ending with this person. You guys were very close with one another at some point, or you were a couple. This looks like a breakup or something like that. You got to a point where you didn't like the way that you were being treated, and it didn't feel fair to you. Like, something really felt off. There may have been like some sort of power play or imbalance that you felt. Something just wasn't feeling right to you. And so I'm seeing that like something began to get off of the ground, but then I'm seeing it come to an end. Seeing 96 here. There's still more that you're learning and coming to understand about this ending. You could be in a space too where you're like, why did it have to go like that? And just like maybe having a hard time seeing the bigger picture here with this ending. But I am getting that this is like something that how you feel about it now is not how you're always going to feel about it. It's not how you're always going to perceive it. There are things that you are learning and things that you are coming to understand that, like, when this ending took place, you may not have understood in that moment that now there is even a gaining of momentum that's going to connect with a larger understanding. Of why this needed to be and how this is actually helping you get where you're aiming for. So there's an overarching theme that's meant to be understood about why things needed to come to an end, even if initially you were interested in it, even if you're still interested in this person. What it seems like is that you weren't being treated properly. There was an imbalance here of something that was like throwing off the whole relationship. And so, like, even though you may have been like, wow, a fire is lit, and then all of a sudden it's doused out, there was a purpose, there's a bigger reason why this is happening. But you may still be in a space where maybe you feel like a victim, or maybe you're just having a hard time accepting this, or just it feels very heavy still. I'm seeing Saturn, like, really hitting you hard here. And with Saturn, if we're not ready for it or we're not prepared for it, it can feel like the most grueling thing that we go through, because it feels like you get like hit while you're already down. But this is teaching you how to let go of what's not useful, what's not effective. The thing, how I'm seeing Saturn come through, because Saturn has many functions, is that if you are in like a relationship that's not in alignment, Saturn is going to end that very quickly. And usually not in a way, well, I don't know if quickly is the right word, but it's like when it's done, it's done. And there's no bringing it back, because we're completing a cycle here. Otherwise, you're just going to continue repeating this. But the function of Saturn is to come through and take things that are like out of alignment and ineffective. It's like bringing things back to the bare bones, like making things more efficient, only doing things that we need to be doing. If there's anything that's like reckless or unhealthy, things like that, Saturn is going to come through and clean it up. and help you let go of any excess that is unnecessary. And also, too, to have Neptune and Saturn here, too, you could have been... Neptune and Saturn, you could have been experiencing like a Neptunian process first. Neptune is a quixotic energy where it's kind of like unrealistic and like up in the clouds. It can be, and kind of like in the fantasy of like everything is very wonderful in the rose-colored glasses. And then to have Saturn next to it, it's like we are taking that fantasy, whatever was ungrounded, and we are grounding it and we are creating roots. So these two together, like even though you can kind of feel like your head gets ripped down from the clouds, it ends up benefiting you because it grounds the Neptune energy. So Neptune and Saturn, Neptune and Capricorn, I'm seeing this be very, very much related to the transits that are happening currently. Saturn and Pisces. So yeah, whatever was like a fantasy or was ungrounded and unrealistic, it is now being grounded. So something may have been going on that it wasn't meant to continue. See, if you had had like a clear vision of what had been going on, it may have been easier to see why something needed to come to an end, but there could have been something that you weren't seeing. Also, too, like with Neptune, it can be a deceptive energy where you think you're seeing one thing and it's really like an optical illusion within a relationship with somebody. And so you may have like not completely understood why you were moving away, but kind of been forced to because things came to an end in the way that they did. But you could still be struggling a bit mentally with things, trying to understand. But you could just be in a spot where it looks like a heavy, heavy moment of just like everything kind of hitting you. And so it may be hard to make sense or rationalize. Like you want to ground and regulate before you try making sense of things, because you may feel a little bit like escalated right now with things, meaning ungrounded. You're going to figure out what you need to. Trust the process is the overall message here. I'm hearing leading you to new heights. Just looking at Neptune and Saturn here together, this does feel like a transit that you're experiencing. I'm hearing this is somebody you've been through the ringer with, so you know this person. But I do get this sense of there being momentum behind this, so this doesn't seem like something that happened really quickly and then ended really quickly. This seems like something that has been going on with somebody that you know. I'm looking at Aquarius and Cancer and the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, which is the moon. Yeah, I'm getting this again with this person. They may have like seen you being happy and that was triggering to them. Like that's how you'll know who this person is. That like instead of being happy for you or like celebrating with you, because I was seeing there be some sort of like togetherness or partnership with you and this person, or like friendship, whatever you want to call it, siblings. You would think that like somebody that this person would like identify with you and be like, if you're happy, I'm happy, things like that. And it's like something that you were doing that you genuinely felt happy about, or just like being in your vibe, doing whatever you were doing. This person was looking at that and feeling a type of way towards themselves, but again, projecting it onto you because they may not have realized that they were projecting. And then I'm seeing a situation that was kind of separated and even feeling upset because it's like I thought things were going to be cool between the two of us, and feeling like, again, there was an imbalance that had taken place. So even though you may have been excited about starting things with this person, they just like couldn't handle you being happy is how I'm seeing this. Really sad. But it's this person's work that they need to do. Just shadow work on their end. Just in a space of like competition and stuff like that in the lower chakras. So this person may just still have some blocked energy that they're working through. Anyway, we said the signs right. I'm looking at Aquarius and Cancer, Neptune and Saturn, and the Moon, the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I'm hearing it again. They couldn't be happy for you. They weren't willing to be happy for you, but it has nothing to do with you. It's just a reflection of the space that they're in with themselves. Now that things have ended, it seems like you're kind of getting to the end of something. Finishing up a course, maybe figuring out where to go from here. Like, what's next? What do I want to prioritize next? I'm seeing that immense healing comes from this situation. There may have also been like a lot that you saw reflected. Okay, so when we run into a situation with someone, even if we can feel like, sometimes we can feel like another person is more at fault than us, whatever, however you want to break it down. I'm seeing that this was also a really eye-opening experience for you. So there was a lot that you learned from this, and also shadow work that you've been doing through this cycle with this person too, on yourself. So it's not just, oh, this person has work to do. It's like, what does this mean for us and also our healing journey as well? Like, what have you learned through this experience? Because I'm seeing healing for you come through this experience too. Like, this is an opportunity for healing. And you finding peace within your life and also moving away. Like, this person could have also reflected some, like, even latent attitudes that you had that maybe weren't as severe as this person, but it could have definitely reflected some stuff for you that came up that may have been more subconscious, is how I'm seeing this play out too. So they're also a catalyst for you as well in your healing. They actually definitely helped you go somewhere, get somewhere, even like mobilize something for yourself. Now, you may be at a spot where you're maybe still feeling a bit upset about something, but I'm seeing that you're coming out on the other side of this. It seems like the heavy emotions are kind of at the tail end of this process, and then I'm seeing things come together in a way that one had hoped for them to. There's just a bit of dancing, a bit of figuring out that's happening. Seeing this also helped you show up for yourself and helped you connect with your needs and connect like your actions and your choices, your decisions with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.